beautiful Cancerians, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for the end of November, right through the end of December 2024. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Cancerians, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. And of course, you can see I'm in a different environment at the moment. I've just gone to visit some family for the next couple of weeks, but I will be back in my usual environment after that. So let us tap into your energy and let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Cancerians? What do they need to know regarding their career and money situation? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to be aware of at this time? Can you please show them the way? Please, can you show my beautiful Cancerians what they need to know regarding their career and money situation? Well, first of all, I can see that you're pretty exhausted. I also see that there's some big changes around you at the moment as well. Some of you are looking at how to transform your finances. And some of you with that moon energy, I feel like you're trying to branch out and find second streams of income or alternative forms of income there as well. But we'll tap into all of your cards first before I really can feel the energy of that. I feel a lot of you are deep in thought about your career and your finances, and I feel you are trying to reignite your passion for what you do. I mean, I actually feel like you are naturally very gifted and very passionate about what you do, and I feel like you've been working really hard and almost like running on empty for some of you, especially since the Sun card is in the resistance position. The Sun is all about energy, and in the resistance position, it's like it's in the reverse. So a lot of you, I feel like you're powering on through, even though you have a lot on your to-do list, and it just feels like you're at capacity or there's a lot, okay? Now, I want you to be aware that 6 of Swords tells me that you are protected and redirected at this time. So there could be some sort of radical change that goes on in your working environment that helps you kind of branch out a little bit more. You do have the Tower here. Now, I always say the Tower, it is nothing to fear. The Tower actually is like liberating yourself from a very stuck situation. So some of you are looking at where you could branch out a little bit more, diversify, or some of you are currently thinking about what you need to do for the year ahead. Even though you're still in 2024, I feel like you're thinking about long term, and the more you project yourself into the future and you think about all the things that you want to do, sometimes it feels a little bit overwhelming. So I feel like you are looking more in the next coming weeks at compartmentalizing the steps that are necessary to complete your tasks. I definitely see you're very goal-oriented this month, and I feel like you're going to get a lot of your to-do list done, but we have to tap into that Tower in a moment to see what that is, because it can indicate that suddenly something that you were not aware of arises, okay? Because we have the Moon card, that's the hidden coming to light. So I will tap into that, but ultimately the energy, there's success and reward around you, because anything that's in the resistance position, it goes into the upright after the 6 weeks. So it feels like you close out the year, you know, trying to protect your inner peace, manage your stress levels, but also looking back, there is an energy of, you did a really good job with the resources that you have, but change is afoot. Now, change is nothing to fear. Everything changes all the time, but being a water element, and I'm a Scorpio, so I kind of know that, I like what I know and I know what I like. And I feel, if there's change afoot, you want to be in control of that. And that's what's really positive, because your first card there is the Death card. You are in control of this change, whatever it is. So you may be the person surprising people with either launching something, or you've been working, off grid on something and you're waiting for the right moment to launch it or structure it. So I feel some of you may suddenly, for example, give your notice. You may get a bonus at the end of the year and suddenly decide, you know what, I'm leaving. You could be finding a new opportunity and keeping it to yourself at this time. Some of you have already found that opportunity and you're going elsewhere, because we have that Queen of Wands and we have that Six of Swords there. So you know that you're going places, but you may be keeping it to yourself at this time. For some of you, this new role could involve travel or relocation somewhere. But for the majority of you, I feel like you're just thinking about the journey through work, okay? You're thinking about where you want to take things to the next stage, implementing new ideas, opening yourself up to new ways of working. If some of you have come to this reading and you've been made redundant, or you have been out of work for some time and you're looking for new opportunities, I feel there is a complete restructure in the job market. And I feel that new roles are going to be coming to light. And what I mean by that is, I feel a lot of roles, if you've been going up for interviews and it's not been successful, a lot of roles have been filled in-house, but they've had to advertise outside just to tick some boxes. So there's been some nepotism there where roles that are being advertised, it almost feels like they've already been filled. Okay, but what I do see as we close out the year and move into January as well, 2025, I see lots of opportunities being made available as people decide to leave or restructure the way that they work. And I see there's loads of opportunities opening up to you, but one in particular, you're just going to grab with both hands. And it's a very successful role. You make it successful, and they require the skill set that you've got. You're naturally very gifted and talented. The Queen of Wands tells me that you are passionate about what you do. You're being called right now to express yourself in your career. So even if you're in a role and looking for alternative roles or options for you, I definitely see one coming up for you. And if you're currently not working, and you're searching, I definitely see that there is one coming in for you there as well. But the transformation card indicates that you feel something needs to change, because you may feel overworked, overwhelmed, and unsupported at this time, and you're just looking at how you can change things so that it can be easier for 2025. And I can't believe I'm talking about 2025 already, but I feel because you have the World card there, it's indicating that you're looking at closing out the year. You still have some things on your to-do list. You're very goal-oriented. You're going to reach those goals, but I feel like you're trying to protect your inner peace at this time. So there could be some distractions. If you work for yourself from home, for example, you're an entrepreneur, there could be some sort of like noise distraction outside that has the potential to cause a distraction. But I see that, you get around it, noise canceling headphones, or you take yourself elsewhere. For some of you, it could be that you decide to relocate where you work. If you work for a company, this could be that there is an office move or relocation, and you feel that everything is changing in the working environment, and you're just feeling like it's a bit of a shock if suddenly the company that you work for says, okay, we've decided that we're going to relocate. I feel it's because the rental on the property that they already have is going up. Okay, and I feel like it's just not conducive. They can operate in a different location for a lower price, and it just makes good business sense. I don't see that the company is doing badly. I just feel it's them being very efficient with their finances. So if you do hear that there is an office move or relocation, or there's some branches closing down of the company that you work for. I feel it's making good business sense, and they are going to kind of like filter out the workforce in different branches, and this may affect you. It's not going to affect everybody, okay? I definitely see that it's going to affect a lot of you, maybe 30% of you. So if you're in that, I feel there's nothing to worry about, because with that Princess of Wands there, I feel a new role or a new environment is going to energize you, and it feels like it opens new doors for you. It's like a fresh new start, okay? Now, with the transformation card, it can also indicate that you're trying to change the structure of how you work, whether it's your schedule, whether it's you being more time efficient, or whether it's you kind of like completing tasks and then moving on to the next one. There's just a lot of change about you at the moment where I feel like you're getting a lot done. And also, I feel you've been very tested in your working environment. It feels, even if you're an entrepreneur, it's like every time you go to do something, you're being tested, your patience, or if you go to start something, there could be like noise that happens when you start something. If you're an entrepreneur, it could be that you want to push forward on a project and suddenly it hits a roadblock. I feel like those tests are now being removed and you're having clear passage. I feel things are going to get easier for you and less testing, let's put it that way. But I also feel like you're being guided to look at other options in the working environment, because some of you with that Queen of Wands, this is a very established position. You're naturally gifted and talented at what you do. This card indicates that you're passionate about what you do, you're ambitious, and it also indicates that you are someone who's a real force to be reckoned with. This can also indicate that, you have strong creative alliances in your career, but you also kind of like work really well alone. There's an independent energy here. Normally, there is a black cat on the Queen of Wands. So a lot of you are kind of looking at being more independent. This card actually has a Sphinx there. So this is about you using knowledge that you've acquired, but also being open to more so that you can affect your pay grade and level up. But also this is a card about creative alliances, or spending more time with people who do what you do, or like-minded people that you can vibe off. So it could be that you are trying to network, or finding your way to like an office party, for example. If you're an entrepreneur, it could be an event that has like-minded individuals that you can form creative alliances with and kind of like vibe off each other and inspire each other. For some of you, especially if you are an entrepreneur, this could be like a shared working environment. And some of you may be deciding to leave a shared working environment. Number one, financially, it's making better sense for you, but also it could be that there's been too many distractions, especially when you are trying to focus on important projects. So you may be kind of suddenly terminating a contract with a shared working environment, or suddenly terminating a contract with a service provider because you feel either you don't need it anymore, or you're restructuring to find better deals elsewhere. Now, whether you work for yourself or for a company, I feel that you are looking at creative alliances, or structures that work really well for you, and you're terminating anything that you feel has run its course. I mean, on a personal level, you could be like terminating subscriptions that you don't utilize or that you don't feel benefit you anymore. You could be looking at service providers who don't provide the service that you're hoping for, whether it's getting better internet service or faster broadband, for example, or whether it's you utilizing a different energy company because there's so much energy going on in your reading. It could be that you're finding better deals, so there's more money in your pocket than in theirs, is what I see there. But ultimately, I feel that you're approaching the next coming weeks with a lot of passion, tenacity. I also see when it comes to your finances on a personal level, I feel like you are looking at where you spend your money. I feel like you're looking at creating some sort of budget, especially with the swords. Six of Swords is a card that indicates you're looking at your financial future. I feel some of you could be saving either for a vacation, or you're saving for a large purchase, and you're just trying to stay on top of your repayment plans and try and save as well there. I just feel like there's been a lot on your plate, and Sometimes with the Six of Swords, it can indicate that, you've been under a lot of pressure or you've been stressed and it doesn't feel like it, but you're actually turning a page for the better. And that money may have been tight or you're making your resources go a long way right now, but you will manage things better. And I feel also you will get through this. There's more reward on the table for you. But for some of you, I feel like you're waiting for a bonus or you're waiting to kind of assess where you're at with your finances if you run your own company, for example. And it can be that you're waiting for a certain due date before you can either take more dividends or more finances for yourself, or for some of you, it could be if you work for a company, it could be you're wondering if you're going to get a bonus this year. I see some company restructure going on, and there may be some surprises there. It feels very much like you hear of someone important leaving the industry or the company that you work for, and this may affect the timing of the bonuses if you normally get a bonus, okay? For a lot of you, you get the bonus early, which is a nice celebration, but for the majority of you, I do see there could be a slight delay, okay? But I need to pull a card on that Tower because it's like there's something here where it feels like it's a surprise. But I also feel with the Sun card being present and the World, which is a lot of success, abundance, prosperity, it feels like there is something being orchestrated by the universe right now for you that you're not aware of, something that you will be surprised by. So it could be like an award or a recognition, because I feel a lot of you with that Sun card in the Resistance position and the Six of Swords, you may feel like you go unnoticed, or you may feel that you're working really hard and you're unappreciated, and it just feels like a lot. But I do feel brighter times are ahead and the pressure is off as you leave 2025, and I feel like you're being protected and redirected in your circumstances. Now also, Six of Swords can indicate that after a period of brainstorming and thinking about new ideas, you're ready to launch something or run with something. A lot of you are thinking about being your own boss, or you are already an entrepreneur, and I feel like you're thinking about new ideas. Some of you may be thinking about migration or migrating your business abroad or trying to be more nomadic in your working environment. So you may be looking at brainstorming ideas or putting a structure in place that will benefit you to take you to where you want to go. Remember, this card is taking you to where you want to go. And I feel like your talent, your tenacity, your intelligence, and your passion is taking you to where you want to go. And I feel like you will reach your goal. The World card is reaching the goal. Now we do have the Sun card. It's in the Resistance position, as I mentioned. So it's like you got it in the reverse. So it can indicate that, you've been feeling lethargic or you've been feeling a little bit unmotivated or uninspired recently, but that's all about to change. I feel like you have been going through a very testing time, but your vitality returns. I also feel something that you've been reaching for, it shall be won. You shall succeed in whatever it is. I feel like you are reaching the top of your game. So some of you may feel that you've come as far as you can with an idea or a role or whatever it is that you do, and you feel it's time for change. So whether that's you implementing fresh new ideas or revamping old ideas so that you can breathe life into a new project, that Tower is really standing out to me as a revamping your finances or putting an end to kind of like certain types of spending. So it could be that, that shiny new thing that you want, you feel that you want to treat yourself, and you will, but you may not purchase it at face value. You may do a little research and go elsewhere to find it at a discount, so you're saving finances. For some of you, you're cutting back on certain types of spending as well, or you're getting serious about transforming your finances and spreading your finances around to pay off repayment plans, get out of debt if you are in debt. For a lot of you, you may not be in debt, and I feel like you are putting savings away or trying to put your savings to work, as it were, so you can revamp your circumstances. Could be that you're finding alternative investments or apps that help you transform your finances or increase your wealth in some way, because I see a lot of you looking at financial structures. I feel like you're doing something that you're passionate about, and I feel you're very passion driven over the next coming weeks and months because you have so many wands and heat and passionate cards in your chart. And I feel that You're going to feel really proud of yourself on all that you've achieved and all that you worked really hard to accomplish, because I feel like you've been pushing and pushing and pushing, even though you felt sometimes like having a duvet day, staying in bed, for example. I feel with that Two of Swords, some of you, you're finding it hard to measure your progress right now because you tend to be very critical upon yourself, but I see that you're doing a really awesome job. Now, the Two of Swords also indicates that some of you, there may have been a project or a problem that you've been ignoring or putting to the back burner. You know, sometimes when there's something that we need to do and we feel like, oh, I don't really want to do that, we push it to the side and then we say, we do it tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. And of course, tomorrow really never comes. But I do see that in the next 6 weeks, you're going to face it head on and you're going to complete it. So it could be a project or some sort of endeavor, maybe even something you've been meaning to do, whether it's to set up a repayment plan or to set up an idea or launch something. I feel like you're going to do it. You're going to complete everything that's on your to-do list and feel really proud of yourself there. Now, also the Two of Swords in this position indicates that things are not as bad as you think or project them to be for the future. I feel there's a lot of positivity around you, being positive about the future, even though you feel that there's an uncertain element to it, or any day there could be change or restructure, because it feels almost like whatever it is that you are accomplishing right now, I feel there's a hidden fear here that you're addressing. It's like all of this could go away, okay? And I want you to be aware you're in a secure position. You know, the universe has got your back. So, you know, if you feel that things are going well for you right now, and you feel this could all be taken away, I feel it's really important to not catastrophize at this time, because I feel like you're going from strength to strength. But change is always good. So if you're an entrepreneur and things are pretty good at the moment, you may feel that you want to implement new structures or implement new ideas, brainstorm exciting new ventures, because you just want to keep things fresh for you and you're kind of exploring what works, what doesn't. But ultimately, you need to feel fulfilled as well. So I feel like you're just increasing whatever it is that you're doing right now. And some of you may feel, especially if you work for a company, you may feel like you've established yourself in a role, but you feel like you've hit a glass ceiling or there's no room for maneuver in your current circumstances. So Six of Swords is like taking charge of your destiny and saying you want to move on to pastures new, especially since you have that Princess of Wands there, which is the equivalent of the Page of Wands. So this is either a new project or a new role that is exciting and fresh and bold and daring and creative, and it just feels like spontaneous. So with that Tower energy, it could be that you may feel that there's been no opportunities for you recently. You can't see any of them materializing, but then suddenly out of the blue an opportunity arises and you put your resume out there and you secure a deal. For some of you, the Two of Swords indicates you've been feeling a little bit stuck in your current circumstances and you want to explore outside your usual parameters. And as you can see there, this figure is standing on dry land, almost like on concrete. Things have become a little bit austere or cemented over, where it feels solid, but it feels a bit bland, or it just feels like it's same. And as you can see, there's some stepping stones over there, and there's a choppy sea, but there's an island. And this person is envisaging coming out of a comfort zone in order to explore new lands or new landscapes. Doesn't have to be that you're actually relocating. It could be that you just want to do new things in your career and you're brainstorming a way to do that. Two of Swords indicates that sometimes we feel a bit defensive or nervous or anxious, that there's a threat to our role or our position, but actually there's no threat. The real threat is keeping things interesting, to keep that spark and that passion alive for whatever it is that you do. So this Two of Swords can indicate that you're going inwards at this time, not only to manage stress levels and protect your inner peace so that you can work at optimum levels, but also it's to kind of like really tap into your sense of fulfillment and really soul search about what it is that you want to do and where you want to take your career next. So I feel like you are envisaging new ways of working or new landscapes in your working environment, new projects, new ideas. And the Sun card is only going to help you gain enlightenment in that area and also illuminate the path for you. The path is clear. It's so important to recognize that your resistance position, you know, there's choppy waters, there's some rocks there. So it's like you may feel that there are some rocky times ahead, or you're not sure because economically things are a little bit challenging right now, or volatile. They're a bit fluctuating. One minute they're really good, next minute it's like a plunge, and you may be like preempting that for your industry or for whatever it is that you do. But actually your protagonist card is the Six of Swords, which means you're coming out of choppy waters. You're being guided, you're protected, and the only way is up for you at this time. There's calmer waters ahead and a brighter future ahead there as well. Now, the World card can also indicate that you have a lot on your to-do list because it's in the resistance position. You have a lot of ongoing projects and ideas that you are focusing on at this time. And some of you may feel that you can't see a way that you're going to get it all done because you're at capacity. But the Tower is like you surprise yourself. You have a lot of vitality and you have this pool of resources. You've got to work with the energy because remember, the Moon is about working with the energy. There is an ebb and flow. There is a time for being passionate and moving forward and taking charge, and a time for resting, recouping your energy, but also, brainstorming or connecting to the map, the inner compass. And I feel like you're in the flow of balance doing that. You know that your energy ebbs and flows. So when your energy is at optimum levels, you're applying that energy and channeling it, harnessing it to do hands-on work or things that you feel are a priority at this time, and anything else that may be like administrative tasks or things that are mundane that you have to do day to day. You kind of like put them to the back burner so that you utilize the energy that you have to transform and change your working environment and really make an impact and a difference. And anything else like filing or receipts or administrative tasks, calls, emails, they may be done at a later date or later on in the day when you just feel a little bit less energized and you're kind of on autopilot and you're just in the mode of doing. So I feel like you are optimizing your levels there as well. But the World card, it will go into the upright. So I definitely see as you close the year, because the world is always the end of a cycle, and I feel like you've been going through a challenging cycle. It's the end of that. I feel like you have a lot on your to-do list, and I feel like you are going to take a lot of that off your list. I feel like you close the year feeling really proud of yourself. A lot of you are trying to tie up loose ends before you go on a vacation or take a trip, and it just feels like you're overwhelmed, but you're energized and you're raring to go, and there is success swirling around you. This is a card of abundance, prosperity, and success. So I feel for some of you, as you close out the year, there's something being offered to you that you don't see coming, because a lot of your cards are like hidden, or the Moon represents the hidden coming to light, for example, the mystery. Two of Swords is there indicating that you do not see something, but intuitively you may feel a shift happening. And the Tower is a surprise, but the Tower is not covered or clarified by a negative card. It's clarified by a really positive card. Princess of Wands, which is the equivalent of the Page of Wands. Pages bring news. So I feel there's some good news that's going to surprise you, maybe thrust you out of your comfort zone. So it could be that you apply randomly for that job overseas and suddenly you get an interview for it and suddenly you got the job, and then suddenly you're transforming your life. You're like, whoa, my whole landscape is shifting and changing. For some of you, it could be that you're an entrepreneur and thinking about migrating your business abroad, and suddenly you meet a person who has done the very same thing that you want to do, and you get new information from that person. You're like, oh my gosh, it's easier than I thought it would be. And they kind of give you pointers on pitfalls to avoid and things to implement so that your structure is secure. Then suddenly you're doing it. It's happening. And you're way out of your comfort zone, but it feels thrilling and exciting. And for some of you, it could be that, there's a bonus or some sort of prosperity that you thought would not be delivered because you felt there's been challenges. So let me just pull a quick card on the World card, the Tower, and the Moon energy, just to see about that. This card has been kind of removed from the deck because I couldn't pick it up for some reason. So I feel it's relevant for you. We've got the King of Swords there. You're very intelligent. I feel like you're strategic. I feel that, you know, you are currently in the planning stages of something that you will action. And I feel like you're taking charge. You are a pro at what you do. And I feel this card indicates that some of you could be either having international links. I mean, for some of you, if you work for a company, it could be someone from overseas is coming to your company or coming to your branch, for example, and they may tell you of a role that's going where they work, or they may actually try to headhunt you, for example, or give you the information that you require in order to make a change or a difference in your career. But ultimately, this indicates that you're making good choices. It means you're in command. It means you value what you have as your gifts and you are utilizing it. But now you're looking for more reward or more prosperity there. The King of Swords can also indicate that news or information comes towards you that surprises you, okay? I also feel that if you work for a company, there could be someone new elected being in charge. And for some of you, I feel you may be offered a promotion that surprises you. We've got the High Priestess there. High Priestess is something that's been kept a secret. So some of you may even hear something on the grapevine or be privy to information that other people are not privy to that will help you ultimately later on. If you're an entrepreneur, this could be you working on something secretly and then launching it or strategizing the right time to launch it. I mean, you've got the Two of Swords again. You don't see this information coming. The Hierophant, it's a deal or some sort of proposal. Could also indicate that you are just restructuring the way things have always been done because it's got stale or boring, or people have got used to it and it just feels like you want to bring back that spark. The Hermit, okay? Yeah, a lot of you may have an important meeting with someone in a position of authority to say, I'm going solo. So you may be giving in your notice. And it may shock a lot of people. They may even try to negotiate you staying or try and negotiate a staying period. So for example, if you're giving in your notice and you work for a company, they may say, okay, your notice period is a month, for example. Can you stay 2 months? Because it'll just tide us over to this next stage. And you may be able to negotiate a better deal financially to be able to do that. But if it doesn't fit with your plans, I feel like you may shock them and say, no, I'm not doing it that way. Thank you, I'm leaving after my notice period. I would also say with that Hierophant there, that a lot of you are just feeling exhausted or bored, fed up, because the Hermit tops it off. It's like you're exhausted, you're searching for new inspiration. You may feel that the tried and tested way, although it's structure and it works well, you just may feel like you're bored of it. You know, for example, the Hierophant, if you're an entrepreneur, it could be that you've been doing something for a long time that works, and that's great. It feels like keep on keeping on doing what you're doing because it is working. But at the same time, you may feel that you just want something fresh and new for you, because remember, you have to keep inspired as well so that you have that sense of variety, and that is the spice of life. A lot of you, this is a contract, or this is you know, a new structure in the way you work or the industry that you work in. So there could be a change in the hierarchical system or your industry. There's new policies, rules, regulations, more documents to file or more paperwork for you to do. And it feels like overwhelming at first, but also I feel like you see your way through it. And with that Hermit energy, a lot of you are thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, or you are an entrepreneur. And if you are someone who works for yourself, it feels like a lot that, you know, your business is always on your mind. So some of you may think about delegating certain aspects of your career out. So it could be that you, you know, give a resource like your accounts to an accountant, or you may hire a PA or someone who can organize your diary. It just takes the slack off you so you can focus more on creative endeavors. So I feel a lot of you are just restructuring the way that you work, and that's why that Tower is there. But the World card tells me a lot of success, a lot of reward, being noticed for what you do. I feel this is about you gaining a lot of attention in your work. So if you provide a goods or service, if you're an entrepreneur, I feel your product or your service gains more attention, and you may actually get a lot of overseas interest as well, and it may feel a bit overwhelming, but you may find a way to either outsource or drop ship whatever it is that you do, so that you can fully be in the flow of creating streams of income for yourself, but at the same time creating more time for you to be more creative. For some of you, this moon card energy is the battle, the inner battle between doing a 9-to-5 job or a secure job, but also a freelance job, because there's normally a dog and a wolf on the moon card. So it can indicate comfort as opposed to, being a little bit more nomadic. So you can have the best of both worlds. Some of you are creating second streams of income. The Two of Swords are two different avenues that you may be exploring at this time. So some of you may pick up a seasonal job, or you may be dipping your toe into creating a business venture on the side that will actually really surprise you and take off. You shouldn't be surprised though, because you're very gifted and talented at what you do. And the moon card is self-reflection, of course. So I feel like you're really taking stock of everything you've accomplished and where you want to take your career to the next stage. A lot of you with that World card and that Six of Swords, you're taking a vacation. So I feel like, this time away is going to help you be able to take stock. Sometimes we need to take a step back to really see where we're at and where we really want to go. Because when you're in the mix of something, it feels like you can't see headway, because you're so involved in it. So having that bird's eye view is also important there. But a lot of you are also thinking about relocating and maybe finding alternative options abroad, or just exploring your options right now, because the Six of Swords is to explore, as well as that Princess of Wands there. It's like you're exploring what really gives you that spark that sets your soul on fire. And I feel with that Tower, it basically means you're breaking out of a comfort zone. Two of Swords can indicate you're at a stalemate, okay? So you may feel like you've hit a certain plateau in your career, whether it's you've reached a certain level or a certain title, or you feel that you've run your course on a certain idea and you want to diversify. The Tower can indicate that things have got comfortable, okay? And there's a lot of pressure on. So it indicates you need to transform to set yourself free. You need to change some aspect of whatever it is you do so that you can liberate yourself and take a leap of faith. The Tower, those two people, they're forced out of a comfort zone in order to benefit. It's way better to take a leap of faith into the unknown than stay where you are stuck. Because, when we get stuck, the universe sends us loads of signs and says, okay, you're feeling a little bit lethargic, or you're feeling tired, uninspired, or you just feel bored, or just that there's a heaviness, there's a missing ingredient. And if you don't go searching for that, then there's going to be more signs from your body, but also around you, that things are going to get highly pressurized, okay? And this can be you trying to manage your stress levels, but also it's like, are there some changes that can help you manage those stress levels? But the Tower, the lightning bolt only hits the Tower, the crown chakra, when you need to change something, but you ignore the changes, okay? So for example, if you've got a bill that you can pay straight away, for example, and you say, okay, I'll pay it tomorrow. And you fully intend to do that, but then life gets in the way. You get sidetracked. You've got a lot of other things on your plate. You forget about the bill. Suddenly, the due date has passed, and you're like, oh my gosh, now I've got a fine, or there's interest on that payment because I forgot. A lot of you're putting automatic payments on there, of course, so that's fine. But I feel for some of you, it could be that you've reached a level of comfort in what you do, and it's just become a little bit stale, boring, and same, and you're looking at ways of revamping or transforming either your working environment or your finances, okay? So you want to transform your money for the better, so you can do more things for you, or do more events, or book more things. So I feel there was an energy in and around that. Those two figures, they would remain comfortable in that Tower and stay there unless the lightning bolt hit that Tower and now set it on fire. So things have become uncomfortable, and they have to take that leap of faith. And that's the same with life. When we ignore things, or we accept things, or we put up with things that we know do not truly make us happy, they start to magnify, and they start to make us feel like, okay, things are getting a little bit much now. I have to do something about it. So the Tower shows up to say, look, there needs to be a radical revolutionary change in the way that you work. And there's a paradigm shift here. This can indicate that suddenly things are happening really fast. And you may feel a little bit out of control in this. But this news is positive. So it's like suddenly you're surprised by some really positive news and you're running with it, and suddenly everything is changing and it feels really fast and out of control. But at the same time, I feel this change is really good for you. I feel it's really positive. So this Princess of Wands can also indicate that suddenly you're offered a new project or a new client. And it can also indicate that there is a shift in your energy that puts you at optimum levels. It's going to be very interesting and positive transformation here. And I also feel that this card indicates that what is happening really fast is happening for you and not against you, okay? The Tower literally means surprise. And I feel like you're not being taken unawares because the Moon card is there, which means you're very intuitive. You are moving with the changes. You're being flexible with these changes. So let me just pull one more. That happened again for you, and it's the Magician card. I'm only picking the uprights in the decks there. So I was going to take it up there, but that Magician card also didn't want to come with the deck. So I would say you're taking charge, you're inspired, there's a magical change around you, and there's a lot of potential here for you to manifest opportunity. But let me just pull a quick card on that Princess of Wands. Can you show me the money for my beautiful Cancerians? Can you show me the money? I see a lot of you changing your spending habits, okay? We've got the Nine of Cups. Money's going to be good. I feel like it's going to be enough. You're going to be satisfied. I also feel a wish is winging its way towards you. I feel this is a level of feeling proud of yourself, that you did a job well done. And that Nine of Cups is really more about feeling fulfilled in what you do, and the money will flow from there, okay? So I would also say that something is coming in that is going to make you really happy. For a lot of you, it could be a new role or a new department that you get to figurehead. If you're an entrepreneur, this could be a new idea that suddenly takes off, that people all around the world see it, especially if you're an influencer or an entrepreneur. There could also be someone famous who watches what you produce, and they actually talk about it, and it helps like completely light up your channel, for example. If you are a creative person, like an artist or a writer or a performer, I definitely see that more attention is coming towards you, and this could be your lucky break that will lead to new doors opening and another creative endeavor. So it could be that suddenly you get signed to a publisher and they sign you up for a 2-book deal. For example, you've already written one and they've like now commissioned you for another book. If you're a performer, like a musician, for example, it could be that you get a gig overseas and that a really important record label or manager sees your work, and then suddenly you go global, or you have that complete lucky break, but it's not really a lucky break because you worked really hard for it and you've got the talent to back it up. If you work in an office or an industry where you are rising through the ranks, maybe it's office work, maybe it's some sort of creative hands-on work or shipping or whatever it is, construction that you work in. It can be that someone in a position of authority is seeing what you do and wants to offer you a new proposal on the way that you work that is going to benefit you long term and bring in more financial rewards. So really positive time for you. I feel things have been challenging, but I do see that things are going to be brighter for you there. And that Tower is nothing to worry about. I feel it's more that you may transform the way that you work and surprise people, may surprise your family, or something comes in that benefits you and your family there as well. We have Magnifying Wealth as one of your final cards, okay? So the Mirror is there, which means reflection. So this is about you reflecting on all aspects of your career and your finances, your savings, and seeing how you can magnify your wealth or implement structures to have more money in your pocket long term. It says build your fortune by having multiple streams of income, expand your reach. So a lot of you with that Moon card, you are diversifying, trying to find alternative flows of income. So I feel this is about you looking at what's working and doing more of that, but also implementing new ideas to set up either if you're an entrepreneur or you're on social media, you could be setting up different channels. For some of you, it could be that you are, looking at your knowledge and where you're passionate about and how you can inform other people and maybe set up a course of learning to help them learn, but at the same time, there's a financial exchange there. For some of you, it could be that you are going into real estate and, having lots of different properties and there's passive income there. So please apply it to your situation. It's going to be different for everyone, but I do see you transforming the way that you work and your finances with that as well. And it gives you more creative and financial freedom with that card there too. And it says here, big chance. That's why I say your lucky break, okay? Big chance. The odds are stacked in your favor, so go for it now. Your cup overflows. So that is a sense of fulfillment, but also it's a sense of abundance. And when you really think about the cup overflowing, that's your Ace of Cups energy. If you think about the cup, it's almost like you take that cup and you put it into the water and you scoop up the water, okay? And it's really about looking in that water and visualizing what it is you want, but also it's like all the ingredients. Is there a missing ingredient in that water? Okay, or whatever it is that you feel you're filling your cup with. And the missing ingredient is the pathway to everything you desire. So go in search of that missing ingredient. If it's more spontaneity, more fun, more creative independence, or whether it's more money, whatever that ingredient is, that will be your focus, and that is how you transform. Okay, so I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a room before we close. Oh my gosh. So we have the piece of the puzzle. So that's literally the missing ingredient. Everything's slotting into place. Some of you may even literally find a piece of a puzzle on the floor over the next coming weeks and months. This may be a symbol that you're going to find an opportunity or be given an opportunity that has that missing ingredient, but it just feels like everything is going to slot into place for you. Also, we've got TV. So some of you are going to be famous, or you're going to be well known, or your reputation is increasing. It doesn't have to be that you are on TV, but it can indicate that you're promoting your work or people are seeing what you do. For some of you, it could be that you're being watched. You may not know it, but you're being watched because there is a new role or promotion coming up. So I would say, be mindful about, especially if you are someone who likes to surf the internet, I would say be a little bit mindful about who's watching you as you surf the internet for personal items, because you could be seen, and I feel like you're being sort of tapped for a new role or promotion, and it's not that that will go against you, but I feel it will be put on your record sort of thing. So I would just watch out for that. Who's watching you I would say is something to be mindful of, not in a paranoid way. I would just say pick your moment. Okay, so when it's super quiet and no one has the potential to come around that corner and see what's on your laptop, I would say that's a perfect moment for you to be doing whatever you want to be doing. But I do see that this is about promoting your work, allowing yourself to be seen, being put in the spotlight for something that you will be really well known for. You're establishing yourself, okay? Also, if you think about the nature of a TV, if you don't like the program, change the channel. So I feel this is about you looking at your working environment and your finances, and if you're not happy where you're at, you're transforming, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates for you in this reading for my beautiful Cancerians. And if it does, please like or subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press that little notification bell. Lets you know when I update my next message. Lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Cancerians, and love and light.